You are listening to Fantha Tracks.
It's time to spin round the rim. This is Desert Planet Discs. Star Wars music in a single file. Here are your hosts, Carl Bayless and Greg Robertson.
Hello there, and welcome to track 22 of Desert Planet Discs. No, we haven't gone big budget and got Ewan McGregor to record an opening for us, as you can tell, because that was a very bad impression. But welcome indeed to track 22 of Desert Planet Discs, brought to you by those lovely people at Panther Tracks. I am one of your hosts, Carl, and joining me as ever is the cheeky king of Sith rock and roll, Darth Elvis, aka Greg Robertson. How you doing, Greg?
Hot dang there, sir. I thought we'd got Ringo Starr to do a guest appearance at the start of the show. Hello there.
Hello there. Welcome to Sodo.
My name's Ringo. I play the drums. Sometimes I play the fool. Hello there. You should get the Scotsman to do the Ewan McGregor impression, please.
Yes. Or we'll, next time we've got a spare 350 quid or whatever we'll be charging next year at Celebration, we'll get him to record just a hello there for us.
I'm hoping I'm going to meet him in the pub for a drink,
Yeah.
Where you going, master? For a drink.
Yeah. Yes. Well, failing that, we should have just spliced the audio out of the show.
Yeah, you definitely get a better impression if you actually steal it from the movies.
Yeah. That's it. But there we go.
So, Carl, tell us who was kicking off the show this week.
Yes. So to kick off the show, we had Star Wars Meg with her lo-fi remix of the Obi Wan Kenobi theme. Any of you that follow our good friend and Christmas guest, Star Wars Santa, will already know Star Wars Meg. She's got a very active YouTube, that's the one.
And Patreon.
And Patreon channels as well. So follow her at Star Wars Meg. The music side, she posts on Star Wars Meg's Cantina. And yeah, she's on Patreon as well. So if you head over to YouTube, you'll be able to find her and find all the links over there. She does some brilliant lo-fi remixes of Star Wars themes, and she posts daily little news excerpts and updates on the latest goings on in Star Wars, so definitely worth a follow.
Yeah, I would quite honestly say one of the best YouTubers out there in terms of content and genuine content, none of this kind of clickbaity material.
Yeah, absolutely.
Along with our good friend Star Wars Santa, whose shows are very, very good. Very, very good.
Indeed. So if you don't already follow Santa, follow Santa. And if you don't already follow Meg, follow Meg.
I was going to say, you might even see me once in a while on Santa's show.
Yes. And of course, also friend of the show, the Martin Gieler.
Yeah, Zuvium.
Yes. Crops up on Santa's videos from time to time. So yes, definitely worth following both of them, and also booking yourself in for a tour of the Zoovium.
Yes, make sure you do that.
Yes,
it's growing all the time.
Yes,
take a load off, and go and enjoy the Zoovium.
Yeah, and not only is it growing all the time, it's also changing all the time, because there's obviously more and more content coming out. Little bits of merch and things like that featuring the Good Constable. In fact, somebody shared a picture with us this week of a Padawan Kyuzo that looks...
Oh, yes. That's a comic book coming out, I believe.
Yes, I think it's one of the... I don't know if it's High Republic.
High Republic, yeah. It is High Republic.
So, Zuyo lives.
Not only that, there's also a Kyuzo in... Somebody shared a video of the new bounty hunting magic band app thing you get at Disney.
Yes. When you
go and check in your bounty, this screen appears and it's a Kyuzo species.
Yes,
it's not your typical ones you see in the Mando with the visors on. It's an actual Zuvio looking one. The eyes revealed. So Mr. Keeler had a heart attack, I think, when he saw that. It has been confirmed it is not Zuvio. It is in fact another one of the same species. But yes, I think we're getting ever closer to Martin getting his wish of a Constable Zuvio TV show.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it'd be a good show.
Buddy cop TV series, like Turner and Hooch.
Zuvio. Zuvio and Porg or something. What we're getting?
Yeah, I don't know. Porg.
Hapabor.
Yeah, it's Zuvio and Hapabor.
Yeah.
There we go.
Or
Yes.
Papa Pig.
Yeah, getting into crazy little scrapes and all that.
Yeah.
There you go. There's another one we can throw into our Disney Plus ideas bank.
Yes, it's growing all the time, isn't it?
It is. So, before we get too far into this episode, what we need to do is clear up a couple of points of admin from our last show. So, if you cast your mind back, if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it. Otherwise, this bit kind of doesn't make sense. But we were talking about Celebration and purchases from Celebration. And I mentioned the Mando Experience t-shirt that I picked up and also the Boba Fett shirt with a sort of rendering of Jabba's castle in a kind of Disney castle kind of thing with some Aurebesh underneath it, which I hadn't bothered to check what it actually said. As Greg rightly suggested, it does indeed say home in Aurebesh underneath it. So that was the one. And the other question was, I thought the Mando Experience t-shirt it's got hashtags of various characters, and I thought it had got Cara Dune on there, and it hadn't. So on the Mando Experience t-shirt, you have Mando, Grogu, the Razor Crest, the Dark Saber, and This Is the Way. So those are your 5 hashtags from the t-shirt.
This is the way.
This is the way indeed.
Talking of merchandise, so that was our celebration, some of the celebration merch you'd picked up.
Yeah.
What has arrived at Mooncat headquarters recently?
So what's dropped through the door recently? The biggest and most recent purchase has been a lovely pair of the DC Shoes Luke Skywalker X-Wing trainers.
Yes, very jealous of those. I had my eye on those.
I couldn't make my mind up whether to go for those or the Stormtrooper ones. As people may well know, I'm a bit of a Stormtrooper fan, and I was leaning towards those, but being the sort of white leather sort of George Lucas dad trainers, I was like, might be a little bit uncomfortable because they have been bought to be worn, not to be left in the box. But yeah, I went for the lovely bright orange X-Wing ones, and they've arrived. They are stunning in the flesh, and not only that, but the box they came in. It's a regular shoebox, but on the lid of the shoebox is a rendering of one of the Empire Strikes Back posters, which is really, really nicely done.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, very pleased with those.
I might have to try and track a pair down for myself because I'm planning a Wilro Hoods run in April.
Oh.
I'm at the point of pressing the button to order a jumpsuit.
Ooh.
And those orange trainers would just go down nice and dandy with that.
Indeed. And if anybody is tempted by any of the DC Shoes merch, if you go and register for their email updates and stuff, you get a 10% discount code as well.
Boom, boom, boom.
So there you go. Because that's what I did. So I immediately got 10% off my order.
That's a good call for Desert Planet discounts. Yeah. Whilst you're at it, I've also been a Star Wars Elvis impersonator. I've had my eyes on the Hush Puppy Elvis collaboration. No matter how many mind control I try, mind tricks I try to put on Hush Puppies, they've not sent me any free ones. But if anyone else is inclined to get them, if you also subscribe for them, you also get 10% off. Nothing to do with Star Wars, but there's a tenuous Darth Elvis line there.
There we go.
Anything else arriving?
I'm just trying to think. I don't. Oh, I know what I did. What I did get ahead of Celebration next year, which we'll talk about a bit more later. Obviously, next year is the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, mm-hmm. And HMV has. I think they still have got a sale on some of the Funko Pop T-shirts.
Oh, nice.
So I managed to pick up in the sale. Again, Desert Planet discounts. The Return of the Jedi video box shirt.
Oh, nice.
So it comes packaged in a video box, and then it's kind of like the Revenge of the Sith poster. So that I picked that up, and then 3 of the cereal box ones. So I got Trooper Loops, which, as the name suggests, is Stormtroopers, and then a Vader Crunch and an Ewok one.
Ewok cannibalistic tendencies
Yeah.
T-shirt. Very nice.
So yeah, and I think those were originally kicking around for. I think they started out life as about 22, 23 quid. They came down to 19, jumped down to about 15, and at the point I decided to pull the proverbial trigger on them, they were $9.99 a piece.
Oh wow, that's good.
So, having already got, I think we discussed in one of the previous shows, I've got a couple of the Funko Pop T-shirts.
Is that Echo Base you picked out?
Yeah, Echo. I picked up the Rebels one, and I've got the Rogue one from Loot Crates, the Smuggler's Bounty crates. So I knew that the T-shirts were sort of decent quality and what size to go for. Yeah, I'm really pleased with those.
I think, Carl, we need to write a jingle for Desert Planet discounts. I think it should be.
Yeah, we do. It needs to become a regular.
It should be a weekly, a regular thing that we do.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, definitely. So watch this space.
Listen to this space. Watch this space. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. How about you?
Yeah, I've had a nice little, I guess, little run of things. So a bit of a mix. So obviously, some lovely gentleman sent me a pack of Elvis playing cards from Theory 11. Is that the name of the company again?
Theory 11. Yes.
But be prepared. There is a package on the way to you. It should hopefully drop in tomorrow or the next day.
Ooh.
With a few things for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
What else have I got? Oh yeah, I got my purple-haired Chewbacca.
Way.
Yeah. That's my purple helmeted collection of the Skittle Troopers, as Skittle figures, as everyone calls them.
Has the pre-order started for the orders started for the
Luke?
The
X-Wing.
Luke,
Yes.
X-Wing.
Yeah, so mine's on order from good old Dave Tree, all the cool stuff.
Woo.
So I got that. If anyone saw me at Celebration or the pictures and stuff, you'll have seen me wearing some fine shirts befitting a gentleman of true taste and high quality. A company called Roosevelt's make all sorts of pop culture shirts, cool patterns and stuff. But they've got a nice Star Wars line. I had a few previously, but I got a couple more 2 weeks ago, I think it was, the last couple of weeks. So I got layers of Mandalorian shirt. And the other one I got, Star Wars wise, was Tale of Two Jedi.
Yes.
Which, if you go to the Roosevelt's website and look up Tale of Two Jedi shirt, you scroll down, you'll see a picture of me, because I did a little review for that shirt, and a picture of me standing outside Ewan McGregor's high school in Crieff, because I was down there on holiday a couple weeks ago. So those arrived, along with a Mr. Machine shirt as well, with a bit of Scooby-Doo action.
No.
What else? I think that's the main things. There was something else I was going to say, but it's totally escaped. Oh, not so much a purchase, but I am a bit of an autograph collector, as you know. I've kind of scaled back my autograph collecting a wee bit because the pricing's gone a bit crazy. I did do my first through the mail attempt in quite some time, which is where you obviously write some fan mail to people and send some pictures, stamped to this envelope, and fingers crossed you might get something back, and I did. I sent 3 pictures to Steve Binder, who is the director and producer of the Elvis 68 Comeback Special.
Yes.
But obviously, true to our hearts, the Star Wars Holiday Special. So those came in today. That was a nice surprise. I just heard this heavy thud through the box and went downstairs, and there it was, little tan envelope with some signed pictures from Steve Binder. So
lovely.
I'm sure you listened to the show, Steve. Thank you very much for sending those.
Thank you very much.
The Holiday Special and the 68 Special are very close to my heart. So yeah, much appreciated. And I think that's pretty much it, Star Wars wise, recently. Because I've been behaving and been pretty skint. The only other thing I was going to mention was, obviously I was at LFCC fairly recently performing. I did get an autograph whilst there as well, which was from Tamara Coulson Woodard, who was Max Rebo in the Book of Boba Fett.
Ah, cool.
Signed picture from her, and she very kindly gave me a couple of Max Rebo stickers as well, which were, I think, production kind of give-outs, because she was also handing out Book of Boba Fett Buccaneer stickers to people who were getting Grogu things signed, because she also was involved in Grogu and many other things on Mando and Book of Boba. So
nice.
I think that's all my kind of purchases of recent.
Did you tap her up and say, my podcasting cohort wants to get the droid named R1NG0?
I think I did actually say that.
Yes!
And I also said that obviously I went to the Mandalorian Experience exhibit in Anaheim. She said, I was there. And I took lots and lots of pictures of the band in particular, and very, very close-up pictures of drumsticks, which we hope to like replicate in our own Darth Elvis and Friends action.
Yes.
So yeah, that was it. That's been my purchases of it since the last show. I'm probably forgetting stuff, but as I say, I've been trying to behave a bit more. Times are tough. Cost of fuel and cost of living.
Cost of celebration
tickets. Yeah.
But we'll talk about that more later as well. Yeah. But one of the main things that's happened or not happened since our last show was the conclusion of Obi Wan Kenobi, the limited series, or as is widely being touted, season 1 of the limited series. So what were your thoughts and feelings on the show? Now we've managed to see the whole piece, as it were, start to finish. Obviously, you know, as it's going through, people are starting to raise questions about, this is undoing this bit of the original trilogy, and why does he say this? And surely they wouldn't do X, Y, Z. But now everything's completed and we've got to the end. What are your thoughts, Greg?
I absolutely loved Kenobi. I thought it was fantastic. I loved everyone in it. I know people have their complaints about certain characters, but I thought the arc was great. Princess Leia, young Princess Leia, forgetting the name again.
Vivian Lyra Blair.
Very bright future ahead of her. I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah.
That last episode was an emotional roller coaster for me. Every time I've watched it so far, I think I've watched it 3-4 times. Once on my Todd, once with my eldest, once with the wife, and I think I've watched all of them back to back whilst I was travelling back from the LFCC, funnily enough. Just adored it. And as I say, I was bubbling here and there, laughing, jumping up and down for joy. I really liked it. Overall, with Kenobi, I think I've watched it a few times now, separately, episodically, and as a whole. As I say, I absolutely loved it. I think it's going to have longevity. I can see myself watching it months and years down the line and still loving it as much as I did initially, and still have the emotional reactions I had when I watched it the first time around. Whereas things like Book of Boba Fett, now I'm looking back at that, I was probably incredibly positive when we recorded the episodes talking about it. Whereas now I think I'm about 50-50 with it, where the first two I loved, all the stuff with the Tuskens I loved, and all the stuff, the two episodes with the Mandalorian I loved, especially the N1 Starfighter episode. That was certainly wizard. And I think 45 minutes is my favourite TV ever. I would say that episode's up there with Monkey Magic. But I think Book of Boba Fett, the episodes, as I say, 50-50 looking back at it now. Whereas Kenobi, I think I'll be as positive down the line as I am now. What about yourself, good sir?
Yeah, I've watched several of the episodes, including that final episode, multiple times. And as you say, you just find sort of new layers to it every time you, not little layers.
Yeah. Come on, did you get your sound effect in there, Carl?
But yeah, there is, just so much under the surface of it, and the bit with the fight where you've almost got the Anakin's voice, and then James Earl Jones cuts in, and it's like that's the battle between good and evil going on within Anakin. That's really really clever and really well done. So brilliant bit of writing, but totally nailed it in terms of the execution of how they did it. Superb. Obviously, there are apparently in the nether regions of the internet some fan edits kicking about. Some people have edited or have put together all the episodes without like the recaps and trailers, which makes it like a 4-hour epic of literally how start to finish how it goes, which would be a really cool thing to be able to have in Disney Plus, I think.
Yeah, I would love them to do that and please, if you're listening, put the Clone Wars or have a Clone Wars episode in order,
Yes.
You know,
yeah. Chronological
order.
Chronological.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I started trying to watch them chronologically using my Blu-rays before Disney Plus came out, and I was like, series 1, season 2, back to season 1. And it's like,
In fact, I think there is a page on StarWars.com that tells you. So you know, it's not like it's an underground hidden thing. You know, StarWars.com have got this is the chronological episode order. So please, Disney.
I think that's a good thing if they start doing that now with, you know, existing stuff, and then as time goes on and there's more and more different series and, you know, new movies, hopefully, you know, like Taika's and whatever else is coming out down the line, hopefully more Rian Johnson, ding ding, that they do that with, you know, everything. Like they put it in, like, you know, if you want to watch all Star Wars in the chronological order, you know, from the Acolyte all the way through to, you know, whatever future thing we have.
Yeah, they already do it with the films, because if you go into the film section, you get episodes 1, 2, 3. Then you get, I think I'm right in saying you get Solo, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, but it'd be good if they were to drop in, you know, Mandalorian's in here and this is in there, and
the Ewok movies.
The essential Ewok movies, and hopefully one day the holiday special. Anyway,
holiday special. Yeah. We digress.
Yes,
but yeah,
it'll be. I believe there's a 2.5 hour cut of Kenobi.
Again, that's one of those things, because I think that edit, I think they've recut to how I've read descriptions of it. I haven't seen it myself yet, but they've apparently recut it so that they feel that the story flows better and some of the story arcs are tightened up a little bit. And you know, that's for me, that's always one of those subjective things, you know.
Yeah.
Deborah Chow's no slouch.
Nope.
You know, as she's proved with this show. And, you know, there's a creative vision behind that. You know, you can... And it's always one of those things, fan opinion. There's fan edits of all the films and stuff like that.
Topher Grace even did a fan edit of the prequels, didn't he?
Yeah. So fair play to people that want to have a crack at that, and I'm sure
have the time.
And have the time and skill to do it. But who knows? Originally, you know, we're being told that Obi Wan was viewed as a film trilogy.
Yeah.
How much is this? You know, have we just got the first movie padded out to 6 TV episodes, or are there, you know, extra bits that they've pulled in from? Oh, we could do this, because you've got to pace a movie differently to how you would pace 6 episodes of TV, because you want your cliffhanger tight. Ooh, like the end of episode 2 where you see Anakin in the back to tank sort of thing, and you go, oh my god.
I watched like the first must probably be a minute or 2 minutes of the Patterson cut, which is the 2.5 hour one.
Right.
I didn't delve into any more than that. It was, I think it kind of included a bit from Biomes. Remember the Biomes, kind of the flyover thing?
Yes.
So it kind of started with that and then took you to Obi-Wan, where he was cutting up the bits of folding up and sticking it all. I think they kicked off the show perfectly with the whole kind of flashback and the kind of edit of, you know, this is what happened in the prequels and here we are now. I love that.
Yeah.
The fact that that's not in there for that guy's cut kind of made me go, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, because it did give you that kind of, remember Anakin? He was this cute little kid, and it all went a bit pear-shaped.
Yeah, and also that...
Spoilers!
Yeah, if you haven't watched the show, spoiler alert, that also sets things up nicely for later on in the series when you get the flashbacks to, like, episode 2, Anakin and Obi-Wan having a little fight.
Yeah, the sparring and stuff
and then
like
further down the line, the kind of brings it back to where they, you know, the end of the series where they're fighting and on that planet. I don't know the name of. I don't know if anyone knows the name of. Have they announced the name of that planet or that moon?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's one of the things we bring up on our show. We don't know the answer to. And we might announce it next time around. But anyway.
Yes. Yeah. We'll have to do a jingle for that as well now. Here's the admin from last week's show.
Yeah.
There we go.
Jingle done. Jingle done. Speaking of jingles, shall we have some music?
We shall. So, sticking with the Obi Wan Kenobi theme, not the theme as such, but sticking with Obi Wan Kenobi, we're now going to play a song called Ben Kenobi by punk folk artist Paul Carbunkle from his recent album A Cold Cup of Tea and a Howl of Despair. It's available on Bandcamp, and this was brought to my attention by a local musician friend of mine by the name of Jess Silk, who recently played at Glastonbury, no less.
Very nice.
Yes. Yeah, so she was, she's probably one of the busiest gigging musicians I know, and is regularly up and down the country playing all sorts of gigs, pubs to Glastonbury.
Come to Aberdeen and I can come and see you.
She's brilliant, and she signposted this. She's also not only a prolific musical artist, she's also a dab hand at the old drawing. So obviously a big fan of Kenobi. She shared on her Facebook page some pencil sketches she'd done of Ewan as Obi-Wan.
Oh, nice.
To commemorate the series, as it were. And then mentioned this track, so thought we'd share it with you all. So this is Paul Carbunkle, Ben Kenobi.
What's R2D2 short for? He's only got little legs.
I heard R2D2 say, Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye, Millennium Falcon's on its way. Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye, whoa, to Rye. Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. Who taught Luke about the Force? Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. Who's the fountain? Who's the source? Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. To Rye, whoa, to Rye. Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. Who does Alec Guinness play? Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. Who's not in the darling buds of May? Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. To Rye, whoa, to Rye. Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. Who stands next to Harrison Ford? Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. You're carrying a blooming great white sword. Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. To Rye, whoa, to Rye. Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. What comes after Jedi Day? Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. Jedi Night, so the old men say. Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. To Rye, whoa, to Rye. Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. To Rye, whoa, to Rye. Ben Kenobi, Nobi to Rye. You put your lightsaber in, your lightsaber out, in, out, shake it all about. You do the Ben Kenobi and you turn around, and that's what it's all about. Oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi, oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi, oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi. These are not the droids you're looking for.
So that was Paul Carbunkle and his song Ben Kenobi from A Cold Cup of Tea and a Howl of Despair. So track him down on Bandcamp and you'll be able to download that song or the whole album. And thanks again to my old mate Jess Silk for signposting that one to us. Yes, so in our last episode, we talked about our escapades and exploits in California, or at least some of them. Focused mainly on Celebration, as obviously that was the big event, but whilst we were in California, one of us managed to get to...
Denny's,
yes. One of us managed to get 11 hours sleep.
IHOP.
Me! One of us managed to drink 14 litres of Mountain Dew. Also me.
In one sitting.
Yes, but one of us managed to get to Disneyland and experience Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And that was
me.
my chum and cohort, Greig. So, followers of Fantha Tracks Instagram will know all about the series Bins of Batuu. And if you don't, get yourself over to Instagram and find out what we're talking about. So, Greg, you've experienced firsthand the Bins of Batuu.
I have.
Tell us all about the wonders of Galaxy's Edge, and it was the Star Wars night at Disneyland, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I was lucky enough to get a few visits to Galaxy's Edge once I was there. We arrived on the Tuesday afternoon before Celebration, and I got a full day at Disneyland on the Wednesday with my buddy James, who kindly travelled. He was in America on holiday and travelled through to California to join us. So we had the full day in Disneyland on the Wednesday, where we spent a great deal of our time, obviously, in Galaxy's Edge. That was obviously the priority for me. I've never been to Disneyland before, but they were building it at the time when I was there, and that was with Mr. Keeler and Mrs. Keeler. The Keelers, fantastic. You know, first impressions. I mean, I've seen the photos and the videos you see are fantastic, but they don't do it justice. Walking into the park and seeing the spires and then the Millennium Falcon sitting there was just incredible. It wasn't until later on, not the first day, but I think it was Friday night, Martin, Mr. Keeler, introduced me to the app where you can start hacking, like the X-Wing that's sitting there, you can hack droids.
Nice.
There's all these little extra things that I hadn't discovered on the Wednesday that Martin had introduced me to on the Friday, which just brings your experience level to another level. You can start hacking things and you start getting little missions to do. But it was great seeing it on the Wednesday during the day. Wednesday night we went off to the Boonta Eve, I think we mentioned it on the last show.
Yeah.
Friday night, as you mentioned, was Disney After Dark, and just seeing Batuu at night was a whole different thing altogether again. I think it's even more special at night, just seeing it all lit up and the spires lit up, and obviously you get the fireworks because Disneyland, you fireworks at Disney afterwards anyway. But you had all these sort of music and the Star Wars music playing, and in fact I've got some video of that up on the YouTube and Instagram and stuff. That was great. The bins were fantastic, obviously. The rides were great. Obviously the Smuggler's Bounty, is that the name of it? Smuggler's Run? The Millennium Falcon ride's brilliant, and the Rise of the Resistance is just... I've never been a ride like it. I thought Harry Potter at Universal Studios was great. This kind of takes it to the nth degree. So if you get the chance, highly recommend it. Get to Disneyland and do that, or Disney World. And I got back a third time on the Monday before flying home to Scotland. I think on the Monday we managed to squeeze in the Hyperspace Mountain, which was, your Space Mountain, rebadged as Hyperspace, and had a mild heart attack on that, as you do if you don't like roller coastery type things. That was great. Star Tours, as always, still one of my favourites. Brilliant. Olga's Cantina. I got a Yub Nub. I got a pint of some lager. I wish I could have had more, but they only give you 2 drinks.
Was it cheaper than the hotel?
I think the pint was about the same price. The Yub Nub was more because obviously I got the souvenir tumbler. The benefit of going back on the Monday was we had Big Kev with us. And Big Kev can get you everywhere you need to go. He was also kind enough to buy blue milks and green milks, so we tried them at the frozen blue milk and green milks, and the guys had a meal in the Hangar restaurant. I'm a very fussy eater, so I didn't get into that. But no, Batuu was fantastic. I now, having come back, want to read all the books and the comics and everything to kind of immerse myself more than that, in the hope that one day I might follow my partner in crime, Mr. Keeler, off to the Halcyon at some point one day down the line. That'll be very far down the line, I think, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully when they reduce the price to some sensible levels. But no, I loved it, and I'd happily go back anytime. Hopefully next time with the family. Or Mr. Mooncat.
Yes. Yeah, please adopt me. As you say, the experience, certainly Star Tours, I've done Star Tours most recently 2018, I think it was. That was in Orlando as they were building Galaxy's Edge, and they'd started to introduce like landing in Batuu as a thing, and going, 3PO with his voiceover saying, oh, it's the start of a whole new adventure. So that was really good. But yeah, it's yes, unfortunately, both my jet lag and lack of cash stepped in.
I hear you.
Yeah, so the Saturday when you guys went to, was it Saturday or the Friday?
Friday night we went to the Disney After Dark, yeah.
Disney After Dark, yeah.
Monday morning. That was
it. Because so on the basis that I'd flown, I'd come back from a family trip to Netherlands, then flown to California and had about an hour's sleep in about 48 hours. Then did Thursday at Celebration plus the bash.
Yeah, hardcore.
And we were trying to watch Kenobi when we got back to the hotel.
That was a challenge in itself, wasn't it? When you said you were at the Netherlands for a family get-together, was that technically, were you really there for Dutch Garrison to have a party? Because they are the party garrison, the Dutch Garrison.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, I didn't meet up with any of the Dutch Garrison, although I think I am going back again next year, so I may actually try and tap some of them up at Celebration, because we'll be going back around the same time again.
I have nothing but love for the Dutch Garrison. First time I kind of really got to meet the guys and girls of the Dutch Garrison was at the Madame Tussauds Bash in the last Celebration Europe in London. And they were down the front going mad for it at Darth Ellis' gig, and it was just unreal. It was like, and again in Chicago. So, yeah, hopefully in London next year, we can all party along with the Dutch Garrison at the many after events that will be happening, hopefully.
Indeed. And that brings us neatly onto talking about Celebration for next year, because another thing that's happened since our last show is the tickets went on sale and have pretty much gone.
Yes, I know. Wow.
Yes. So
talking of Q-Fest, remember the last episode? I think the last episode was called Q-Fest.
It was.
It was like being back at Celebration again, wasn't it?
It was. It starts the Celebration experience early for you. So joining a virtual queue and and a lottery almost to get your tickets. So
multiple queues. I had my phone queuing and my laptop queuing.
Yeah.
And then things started to look good. At 1 minute, you're like, oh yeah, 10 minutes to go, I'm in. And then, no, it bumps back up to 33 minutes. I go, what's going on? And then at that point, you get a message say 4-day tickets have sold out.
Yes.
What?
Yes. So, on that basis, how did you fare in Q-Fest parts, however many parts it was?
A little bit disappointingly. I was obviously hoping to get a 4-day ticket. Not guaranteed I was going to be there for 4 days because school holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
I think my wife, obviously being a teacher, Holly, who's sitting next to me. Hello, Holly.
Hello.
When my kids all go back to school on the Tuesday. We've got Easter Monday, and I'm sure the kids and my wife are all back to school on the Tuesday. And obviously we live up in Scotland. And the cost of flights are ridiculous at the moment. So we're planning driving down to Dorset to go and see some family in advance of Celebration, and then training across the Celebration, spending obviously time there, and then training back to Dorset, and then driving back to Scotland. So Monday will be travel, I think.
Yeah.
But I managed to get Friday, Saturday, Sunday day tickets at almost twice the price it would be for a 4-day ticket.
Yeah. So
which is just ridiculous.
Similar experience. So I'd got the laptop and the phone on the go, and then we were actually going out for my mum's birthday. So the wife's driving, and I'm there on my phone going, "Please get through, please get through, please get through." And like you say, it was like over an hour. Then it cut down to 40 minutes. I think the closest I got was 16 minutes. And then, as you say, it jumped back up to like 35 minutes. I was like, oh.
Yeah, so I got an explanation for that. It was due to, once you get in to get tickets, you obviously have like a 7-minute window once you put things in your bag. Yeah. And that was causing time differences. And I was like, well, you know how much time it's going to be when you've got in there. Surely that shouldn't affect your time getting in. I don't know. I wasn't impressed with the whole tickets.
No. No. But fortunately, one of our number, the ever so lovely Phantom Mom, Claire, big shout out to Claire.
Hello, Claire.
Had got a device but managed to get in and therefore managed to get some tickets for some of us.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, but like yourself, I have got technically a 4-day pass, although it is 4 single-day passes.
Nah.
Which, was...
If I want to, I can add that extra day because the Monday is still available, but it's only
Monday is still there. Yeah, so, it was somewhere north of 300 quid when I think it was about 330 quid. The 4-day pass, I think, worked out just under 200.
Yeah, it's like 160 quid plus VAT, plus booking fees and all that.
Yeah, so, not the greatest.
Yeah, I've still got to try and sort out a ticket for my eldest and my wife. I think the young two will stay in Dorset because they want to sit in panels and they're happy for me to buy them toys, but everything else, not interested.
It's the surprise when you get back and go, look what I bought you.
Yeah. So that's the plan. I now need to try and sort out something for my good wife Holly and my eldest Elliot, Darth Elvis Jr. So
we will be there.
We will be there.
We're already planning swag. And one of the important lessons we learned, I think we might have covered in the last show, is we'll have big signs saying we have swag.
I've been quite lucky because obviously when we came back, I've since been to LFCC. I was at Capital Sci-Fi Con the weekend just past, so I had the swag I took to California with me at these things. So I have got rid of some more swag, but I still have 3 boxes of swag. But yes, we will have swag hats and swag badges and swag lanyards and swag chaps, leather chaps.
Yes. In fact, before the next show, we are actually having a Darth Elvis and Friends in-person meetup. Actually, for the first time.
Yes, indeed.
All the creative force behind Darth Elvis and Friends are meeting. In fact, I don't know. Is that technically allowed? Is it like one of these things where you can't fly all the government on the same plane or things like that?
That's why we're travelling separately. You see.
Yes.
Yeah. And not at one of our normal locations. It's an unknown location.
Top secret, undisclosed location for
out of reach from the rest of the world. Literally,
yes, and the internet by the sounds of it. But so we shall be getting together with our chum and cohort, Mr. Lith, and we will be plotting all sorts of things for not only celebration but new music and all sorts of things. So
that's exciting times.
Yes, keep it posted both here and, of course, on Darth Elvis's YouTube channel, and we'll be sharing lots of little nuggets and bits and bobs from that.
And obviously, stay tuned to the show as we have the build up towards Celebration April. We'll be dropping any news that happens celebration-wise on the show.
Yes. Particularly, they made the announcement alongside the tickets that there is going to be a broadening of the scope of what was the podcast stage to become the HoloNet News stages. So we're not quite sure yet what that's going to entail, but they're sort of throwing the gauntlet out to various other media forms. So we're kind of thinking we might do a guerrilla gig in the middle of celebration. We're
certainly going to try, aren't we?
We're certainly going to try. We're certainly going to try.
When you open that up, I think it'll be podcast, YouTube. We'll try every avenue we can to.
That's it. If we can get there on a stage somewhere, we will be there.
Absolutely.
And if we can't, we'll be on a stage somewhere next door, busking. Who knows?
We'll be walking about with acoustic guitars and bongos or something anyway.
Bongos, yeah. That's it. Generally making a nuisance of ourselves. So
getting thrown out of celebration.
Yeah. That would be an achievement.
That would.
Not a great one, but
not a great one. Might find
Do you know how much I paid for these tickets?
Might finally get that cease and resist Disney letter through the post.
That's it.
Cease and desist. Shall we have some music, sir?
Yeah. Yes. So, in line with the international theme of Celebration Europe, we've got an European piece of music. Ooh. So, from Budapest in Hungary, the artist is called Quixotic, and this is their remix of the Binary Sunset Force theme. Quixotic are on Facebook, YouTube, and Bandcamp, so check them out, and check out in particular this remix of Binary Sunset.
You're listening to Fantha Tracks. Flip through the galaxy of literature with Cannon Fodder hosts Brian Cameron, Matt Booker, Mark Newbold, and Mark Mulcaster.
Count me in.
Spin round the rim with Desert Planet Discs. Your musical journey through the space lanes with your hosts, Carl Bayliss and Greg Robertson.
The hottest tunes this side of Mos Eisley. Hot dang!
Get the latest news, interviews, reviews, and much more on Making Tracks with your hosts, Mark Newbold and Mark Mulcaster.
Like an Ewok battle wagon out of control.
Join hosts Claire Henry and a rotating panel of guest hosts for the podcast that's full of hope. Planet Leia.
I love you.
I know.
It's time to head south with the Fantha from Down Under, Adam O'Brien.
Oh, g'day, mate. How you going?
Start your engines with Paul Naylor and Mark Newbold as they lift the hood on starships, airspeeders, swoops, capital ships, and more from across the cosmos. And for everything in one location, daily news, reviews, interviews, podcasts, video and social media feeds, bookmark fanthatracks.com for Star Wars news 24/7, 365.
And that was Quixotic from Budapest in Hungary with their remix of Binary Sunset, the Force theme. Stunning work indeed. Hot dang.
Hot dang.
Now, speaking of hot dang, now hot dang's like station, you know, from Bill and Ted. Hot dang can mean many, many things. Hot dang can be positive, like hot dang.
Hey.
But it can also be like hot dang.
Hey.
I've got some hot dang now. We're going to talk about Hasbro and Hasbro and the current state of Star Wars within the Hasbro world. Kicking off with obviously HasLab. Now, earlier this year we had the Rancor Black Series fail to meet its target. It was very, very slow until towards the end when they announced some of the things people had been clamoring for from the start as stretch goals, and it was just too little too late, sadly. That was the tail end of last year, sorry. It was the end of, towards Christmas, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah. Yeah.
But we've since obviously had Reva's lightsaber was the big HasLab Black Series scale weapon. And again, sadly... Sorry, Siri's speaking to me now. We had Reva's lightsaber, Inquisitor lightsaber, which again has failed to make its target. And it was quite considerably off target.
Yeah.
It didn't get very far at all.
No, I think it was about a third of the backers I think they wanted about 5,000 backers. And I think it was somewhere in the region of about 1,500.
Yeah.
So,
but you look at the price of that one was, I think, a large part of why that failed. I mean, the lightsabers themselves, the Black Series lightsabers that you can pick up from, your usual Hasbro retailers and Hasbro Pulse, they've been pretty popular.
Yeah.
The Rey Skywalker one, for example, flying off the shelves. But I think just the price of this one, I think, was the major failure for this.
Yeah.
And being such a new character, obviously people might not have seen the show at that point.
Yeah.
It didn't spin, you couldn't fly. You couldn't fly with a helicopter lightsaber. So what's the point?
There you go. Jetpack. Jetpacks for all.
Jetpack, yeah, they fly now.
Yeah. Bit of a shame, just from the point of view of, with our positive Star Wars hat on, we don't like to see things like this failing. Absolutely, because it's a reflection on Star Wars as a brand and a commodity that there isn't the interest there for it.
Especially when you're at the same time it's up against, you've got G.I. Joe. You had a vintage Hiss, I think, tank type thing.
Yeah.
And the previous HasLab time, you had a big Marvel piece. I can't remember which one it was. If it was a Sentinel or something else. And the Proton Pack.
The Ghostbusters Proton Pack, which
again flew and it went way past the target. Timing, I think, but certainly for the Rancor and all the other things back last year, timing was bad. It was before Christmas, but Ghostbusters Proton Pack, as you said, flew off the shelves. And people buy multiples, and if the time things better, sometimes I think like I was interested in the Proton Pack. Couldn't afford the Proton Pack. Didn't get the Proton Pack. My wife's listening still. I definitely didn't get the Proton Pack. Honestly, I didn't get the Proton Pack. But yeah, I think I kind of wish they would open these things up a wee bit more beforehand and go, we've got some ideas in mind. Here's 3 things we're thinking of releasing. They're too big and too expensive to do as a major retailer release.
Yeah, regular to the
shop's job. These would be potential HasLab projects.
Yeah, create a precursor fan vote on what do you want to see as the next HasLab.
Rather than have this big surprise kind of like, this is what it is, and then getting some input from Joe Public and the buyer, ultimately.
That's it.
I think they should do that for the next one, certainly. And I'm hoping the next one will be, as our good friend Mark Hamilton from Ash is wanting, a vintage collection Ghost from Rebels with the Ghost crew, which I think based on how well the Katana did and how well the Razor Crest did, I think that's a no-brainer. If they do that, that's gonna sell, no problem at all. The stretch goals, if you maybe have the core crew, you could add in, I don't know, Lando and a puffer pig, or all these crazy things you could add in.
Callus,
the guy with the horns and the planet whose name escapes me for the moment. Bizalgo, but given the jobs at the early episodes, there's so much stuff you could do with that.
Absolutely.
Where do you see the future of HasLab in terms of Star Wars?
In terms of the Star Wars stuff, I think Ghost would be a good one. I've not gone in on any of the HasLabs purely on the fact that I'm not really that big into my sort of figure collecting. I've got certain Black Series, and I've still got all my old original figures from the original vintage collection when they were not vintage. when they were still new. So all my sort of childhood figures, I've still got those, and I've sort of picked and chosen nice things that I like. Either I've got, as I've said earlier, a bit of a thing for stormtroopers, TIE Pilot's AT-AT driver. So I've got various of those in like Black Series and more modern. I would like to see a cloud car.
Yeah,
that'd do me. Cloud car, Bespin cloud car with a couple of pilots. That'd be quite nice because I do like the Bespin pilot.
If you're doing that kind of a stretch goal of a Wilro Hood, please, because he ain't cheap.
There you go.
Want a Wilro Hood figure? He ain't cheap these days.
No. So one of the things you did touch on with the whole pricing, though, as several people have pointed out, the Hasbro announcements at San Diego was for a new Boba Fett starship.
Ouch! Yes, I saw the price of that.
Or Slave One. To those of us old enough to
or fire spray.
Fire spray.
Whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, but that's weighing in at 250 quid.
Insane.
Which several people have pointed out, it's basically. I don't know the ins and outs of the actual physical product, but they have had vintage collection scale Boba Fett starships before, so it is seen in some quarters as a bit of a repaint, and it's smaller than the Razor Crest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
not far off price-wise.
Pricing-wise, it's getting to the same sort of level. I think the previous vintage collection ship was kicking around for about 120, 130 quid.
Yeah, was that the X-Wing? Is that the one you're thinking of?
No, this was
the last Slave One.
The last Slave
One.
Right,
yeah.
So, virtually double the price. And I think this, again, we've seen with some of the other San Diego announcements, some of the credit collection figures, in particular the Dark Trooper.
Ooh.
Yes, seems to have been the final straw for a lot of people. If the certainly the comments that seem to be going up on social media, and as ever, social media only speaks for a small percentage of people in general, be they Star Wars collectors or whatever. But yeah, I think the US price for that figure is $38, $39.
It is indeed, yeah.
The UK price is £53.
Yeah, do your maths with the $38 in UK money is £34.
Yes.
So we're paying £20 more.
£20 more.
For the same figure.
Exactly the same figure. Yes, there are shipping and everything, but surely shipping costs and everything are taken into account when you price up a line. And I think one of the things that seems to be angering collectors generally is the randomness of pricing and also the deliveries. So, pre-ordering figures that are due to be delivered in 2023 only to find that actually they turn up 3 weeks later.
Yeah, it's crazy at the moment. I got an email today from Hasbro. My Hasbro Pulse premium subscription is coming up for renewal, and it was very simple. There's not a chance I'm renewing that. I think at the time I've had it, I've ordered maybe one or two things from them. Not the most reliable, as I'd much rather spend my money with our good friends who are a lot more reliable, likes of in-demand toys and all the cool stuff, and
Star Action
figures. Yeah, all these great, local businesses. Hasbro, are very disappointed with their pricing. We haven't touched upon the change in packaging. Thankfully, I believe they're keeping the vintage collection the way it is. I think if they changed that would have closed their Hasbro Star Wars business for good. I think if they changed that, I'm all for changing packaging and reducing plastic and I'm a very environmentally friendly person, but I think the vintage collection is one that just has to stay the way it is. But
when something like that is intrinsic to the line and the packaging, so the plastic bubble, and I know that obviously they're big listeners to the show, because we said surely you should be able to make the bubbles out of hopefully more environmentally friendly plastic, even if it is still plastic.
Yeah.
And I believe I have read somewhere that the plastic that is going to be used in the packaging is more sort of recycled or more environmentally friendly created. And a good with all of these things, a lot of it's all more about the waste and the recycling element once it's thrown away as packaging. But I think they're sort of smart to their customer base in that I'd say 95% of people, I don't know what the actual breakdown is, but there are a lot of vintage collection collectors that packaging is going nowhere near recycling.
No. Yeah.
The packaging is effectively part of the product. As you touched on there with the Black Series as well, they've obviously announced now the windowless boxes.
Yeah.
And again, without having seen any demonstration of how that's actually going to work, if those are sealed boxes, I think we've mentioned before on here, it would have been nice to see. You can rule out a lot of plastic packaging from the Black Series box designs. They've already done it with some of their convention exclusives where they have the sliding packaging, and so you sort of get an outer sleeve almost that the figure can slide out of, or even with the a variation on the comic book lines. So they announced, I think it was one of the San Diego Comic Con exclusives, wasn't it? The War of the Bounty Hunters Boba Fett
repaint, yeah.
So the black Boba Fett, and those were literally opened like a book, but had got Velcro to
keep it closed.
Keep them closed. But I think if you're going with a sealed box, then you're again going to lose a lot of your market, because even collectors that collect mint in box really want to see the figure that they bought.
Yeah.
To not have that option without undoing the packaging, I think will ultimately have
cost you a few customers. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about this before we jumped on, and you don't know what's in your box if you're not opening it. You know what I mean?
No.
It could be like you go to shop sometimes and you might pick up, say, a Lego magazine off the shelf, and you get your freebie on the front cover, but sometimes people will whip that off. Or people are known to, if you go into shops, folk are known to sometimes swap the figure in the packaging. Like the Black Series is another prime example of that. Where you think you've picked up somebody's misboxed this, but no, it's probably somebody's taken the figure and put another one in and taken it back to the shop and got their money back, because folk are busy and they're not going to pay too much attention to that. How do you know what's in the box if you don't open it?
Yeah.
So somebody could go in and take the figure out, stick a couple bananas in the box, and take it back to the shop. Say, "Oh, my son's already got this. Can I have my money back?" And it's like, it's 2 rotting bananas in a Black Series box. I know.
I tell you what they're going to put in all the new boxes.
What are they doing?
All the Zuvios they've stockpiled. That's one way to get Martin to buy them all. They're just going to get all the Zuvios that they've still got left in the factory.
Yeah, that'll be an archive collection at some point. Or they'll paint a different colouring, and that'll be the credit collection or the Halloween collection. That was the other one.
Yes.
This will be the Halloween figures, which won't be released until after Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like not before Halloween, when people who might be interested in buying them would want to have them.
Yeah.
Like Christmas.
Hot on the heels of the previous holiday
tinsel nonsense.
Holiday figures. So having in a lot of people's eyes failed with the Black Chrysanthemum figure, they decided to stick some ears on it.
And stick a vampire porg in the packet.
And stick a vampire porg in the pack and call it the Halloween werewolf Wookiee.
The pumpkin Cantono's pretty cool, but they've probably got heaps of Cantonos left from the client figure, because he seemed to be a bit of a peg warmer.
Yeah, and then your other is a clone trooper with a sort of skeleton
paint decal on it, isn't it? Yeah.
Paint, on the front, and it's again,
so here's my message to Hasbro: if you're going to release some holiday-themed figures, release holiday special themed figures. You'll have a few customers on this show. It'll probably be the last thing I'll buy because I'm kind of, apart from the retro collection, which I'm kind of keeping my finger in the pie there, and my purple Skittle Troopers and Skittle-headed figures. That's probably where I'm leaving things now. Yeah, things are getting too expensive, and
I've been seeing some of the latest waves at Celebration. Certainly the Kenobi wave figures are getting better and better, but there comes a point where you sort of go, shall I buy a wave of Black Series or a nice Hot Toys statue?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I appreciate that Black Series has always been billed as like a premium collector's line, but it just seems to have jumped, and it'll be interesting to see. Although, interestingly, one of the things that nobody seems to have announced a release date for, which was one of the nicest sets I saw at Celebration, which was the Macquarie concept Vader and
Obi Wan. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. But that just seemed to sort of appear, no release date attached to it, and then nobody's mentioned anything about it since.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
And we obviously got as well pipeline announcements for some of the Black Series and Vintage Collection figures that are going to come out in the early part of next year to coincide with the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, so you can expect the Vintage Collection style packaging as we've had with both Star Wars and Empire. Yeah, although, again, most of the figures they announced for that have already been released. I think there was the Endor, Leia, and Han. Was it Paplo?
Paplo certainly came out before. I don't know if he was announced as part of that or not.
Yeah, there was an Emperor.
Yeah.
So it again, whilst lines like this, the retro packaging angle does appeal to fans of a certain vintage. The choices of figures again seem to have been...
So the pipeline reveals were Endor Leia, Endor Han, which have both come out.
As part of that. Well, they've both come out... They've come out separately in the angled boxes, haven't they? And they're also part of that big collector's set with Paplu and the bike.
Yeah, you've got Lando in Skiff disguise, which is now available in the archive collections because it was so popular first time around. Biker Scout, which I don't believe has been released before.
No.
It has been, it has been.
Has been, and they've recently done it as part of the Gaming Greats line as well.
And Wicket, it's a first time for Wicket, I believe.
Yeah. So you can get one of those and get Warwick to sign it.
Yes, indeed. And I think there was some other ones. Let me just refresh my memory. Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. You also had Emperor Palpatine, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
And in the Vintage Collection, we've got Han Solo and Admiral Piet, and a brand new deluxe speeder bike with Biker Scout. And the other announcements in the pipeline were Ki-Adi-Mundi, the Mandalorian, and Black Chrysanthemum in the new sort of Black Series packaging, and a Vintage Collection retooled Phase 2 Clone Trooper. So yeah, mixed bag. A lot of things that have been out before. I'm surprised there wasn't a Boba Fett in that mix as well.
Yeah, although we have just had the repainted one, so
yeah. I'm sure he'll be in I'm sure he'll be in that vintage style card.
Yeah, for the Jedi 40th. But you could, admittedly, yes, it would have been another repack, but you could have had a Gamorrean in there.
Yeah, Bib Fortuna.
Bib Fortuna, again, they've already announced. Has that actually come out yet?
I don't think so. Bib Fortuna came out in Vintage Collection.
Yeah, I know that one of the pipeline reveals they did in one of the Hasbro Pulse
Days, or whatever they're called,
Yeah, I'm sure they announced Bib Fortuna in both Black Series and Vintage Collection.
It's definitely come out in Vintage. I've not seen the Black Series one yet, so it's maybe...
No, but we're all for the nostalgia fest of getting the figures in this vintage style packaging, and I've got a few from each of the films. I think for the Empire ones, I've got Snowspeeder Luke, TIE Pilot, and Attack Droider. And for Star Wars, I've got Stormtrooper, Jawa, Death Star Commander. I think that's it. I might have a Vader as well, actually.
Okay.
I can't remember. But again, that's a case of some of those, especially like the original Stormtrooper card back and everything else. Yeah, that's one of the first figures I had.
Yeah.
So that's always one that sort of jumps out to me and goes, "Hello, I'd very much like this." I didn't get a George Lucas in Stormtrooper disguise.
No.
Yeah, so I've got my original Stormtrooper Star Wars card backed. So,
I'm just thinking just now that the way the Hasbro pricing is going, we'll be cheaper buying a Gentle Giant jumbo vintage figure than we would be buying a Black Series figure.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we need some cheering up. Shall we have some music?
Yes. So no, let's go down to the nearest local rave and large it up. This is another track suggested by one of our listeners, slightly closer to home, and she's already had a name check this episode. But our good friend and fellow Fantha, Claire Henry, who is not averse to still larging it like it's 1990 something, along with her posse of friends. Very big fans of the old rave scene. And
shout out to Claire's village chums. I met them at the party.
Yeah.
Marcus's party a few months back.
The Right and Massive.
Yeah. I won't say what they call themselves because we might get pulled off the air. So
yes, but so fans of Norman Cook, aka Fatboy Slim, he's added this track to his official playlist for an event called All Back to Minehead, which is one of these sort of music weekends at
like a Butlins.
A Butlins kind of thing. So I think it actually is Butlins in Minehead.
Yeah.
They're doing a whole weekend of sort of 90s rave culture with all the DJs and glow sticks galore. And this track he added to the official playlist. So Claire may actually be getting to see this next artist perform. So she sent it over to us and said, I was listening to this and I thought, is this about Star Wars? And sure enough, it is about Star Wars. And it is an artist by the name of Hot Since 82. And this is from Spotify.
And Apple Music.
And Apple Music.
Yeah.
And presumably all other good download sites. And this is called Naboo, the Dorothy's Fortress remix.
Like the desert miss the rain, take me to Naboo. Like the desert miss the rain, take me to Naboo. The force is green in your wet dreams. Light your saber, there's no water, I want to swim. So we cruise in your starship from Camino to Tatooine. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Thank you very much to Claire Henry, Mama Pampa, for suggesting that tune, Hot Since 82, Naboo, the Dorothy's Fortress remix. I'm still waving my arms about.
That's
a crazy
it.
person. If this was a video podcast, you would be going crazy.
Yeah, big fish, little fish cardboard box.
That's it. All that good stuff. I'm not going to do Vogue. That's the wrong type of thing. Anywho, we're almost at the end of another show, but we have lots to look forward to in the coming months. And before the next show, we will have the Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation, which is coming to Disney Plus on August 5th. There's a nice new poster just come out for that just a couple of days before this we recorded this.
Yes, and our good friend, the first female stormtrooper, Summerleen, has posted a picture. As part of that poster is a lady stormtrooper in a swimsuit, and she's already said, "I'm claiming that is me. That is me as a Lego minifig." So,
and I like the fact C-3PO is wearing a Halcyon Star Cruiser dressing gown.
Yes.
So that'll be a nice tie-in to the Star Cruiser as well. So
yes.
But we also have at the end of August 31st, coming to Disney Plus, Andor. I think we're going to be talking a lot about that in the next show. Very excited about that.
First 2 episodes land on the 31st, so
we're getting, is it 12 episodes?
Yes, I believe it is.
So lots to look forward to. There's a lot of Star Wars to come out before the end of the year. Obviously, that's just television-wise. Lots of books and comics to get excited about. So,
talking of books, anybody that hasn't yet picked up the Shadows of the Sith book, on my recent trip across Europe, that was my audiobook, and it was awesome. Very, very, very good story. Luke and Lando, post Return of the Jedi. Pick it up, folks. It's brilliant.
I have that audiobook waiting to be listened to, so I need to get onto that big time.
It is very, very good.
A lovely gentleman is old Adam Christopher.
Yes.
Met him, obviously, I would say Chicago, Anaheim. He was on the Making Track show, or the Cross show we did.
Yeah.
But also LFCC again. He was at the Fantha booth. Really lovely guy. Can't say enough good things about him. So I'm excited to listen to that. In fact, that's reminded me I need to get onto that, so I will do that before the next show.
Yeah.
So we have one little piece of music before we depart.
Yes. I think, obviously, it's the end of the show. So what better way to sign out than with a good friend of the show? It's our old mate, Royish Good Looks, who has once again knocked it out of the park with this latest track, picking up again on the recent Obi Wan Kenobi series. This is called Goodbye Old Friend. Available in all the usual places: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and of course Royish Good Looks Patreon site as well. So check him out, check this out. It is fantastic as ever. And with that, it leaves us just to say goodbye, old friends, to each other.
Indeed.
So with that, it's a hot down from me.
And it's a hot down from him.
Hot down.
It's just been these days. I have to hide my Jedi ways. Every single thing may never be the same. The last time I saw you was when it all changed. Goodbye, old friend. Goodbye. And again, all good things come to an end. So goodbye, old friend. I miss you now. You are gone. I wish these battle lines were never drawn. You were passionate, fearless, and strong. Now that I am without you, how will I ever carry on? Goodbye, old friend. Goodbye. And again, all good things come to an end. So goodbye, old friend. Goodbye. I failed you long ago. I blame myself alone. Some things are hard to forget, and I'm sorry for all of it. Goodbye, old friend. Goodbye. And again, and all good things come to an end. So goodbye, old friend. Goodbye, old friend. Goodbye, friend.
Thanks for listening to Desert Planet Discs. If you want to stay part of the action and up to date on all the latest Star Wars news, check out the Fantha Tracks app via the App Store on your mobile device.
You can contact us via email at radio@fanthatracks.com. Comment, like, and share on any of our social media feeds at Fantha Tracks, and be sure to subscribe, leave a review, preferably a 5-star one, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcatcher or smart speaker of choice.
Don't forget to head to fanthatracks.com/radio, home of Fantha Tracks Radio, and follow us on our social media feeds at Fantha Tracks, and bookmark fanthatracks.com for all the latest in Star Wars news.
Waving my glow sticks.
Wearing my alternate mask.
Coming up next on Fantha Tracks Radio, it's Making Tracks.